who wants it most going? 2 rounds to go. Round number 11, and it's IBO junior lightweight title fight. And it's a confident Gairy St. Clair coming forward now.
Well, this is a huge moment for St. Clair. First time in a world title fight. He's hungry. He really wants this fight.
Well, I don't think he's taken a backward step throughout the fight. He's been on the front foot right throughout the fight, St. Clair.
Crowd trying to warm to Cassius Baloyi, trying to get him back into this fight. They sensed in that last round it was a sort of last
can't stop
effort.
that bleeding. It's starting to leak again. The corner just can't stop that bleeding on the left eye. But it's I don't think it's going into the eye. It's just leaking down the side of the eye.
Yeah, it's not going to stop the fight. They can keep this going for another 2 rounds. What can Baloyi do over these next 2 rounds? It's crucial for him. He needs some big rounds now.
He's got to come forward. He's got to get the shots going.
Desperately needs a big round, does Cassius Baloyi. He needs 11 and he needs 12. Otherwise, it's goodbye IBF and IBO titles, I'm afraid. Good combination again from St. Clair. Punishing punch. Oh, he's finishing so much the pressure, isn't he? He looks strong now, does St. Clair.
Terrific shots coming in from St. Clair, left and right. Unanswered from the champion.
Upset in the making. I had a friend of mine ask me, he put money on this fight. He said, is it safe? I said, pretty safe.
How wrong can you be, Nick? It's all St. Clair now. All the combinations, left and right. From Gairy St. Clair, the champion from the challenger. The champion, tired, slow, sluggish.
He's finished, Gairy! Gary's finished now!
And a great performance thus far by challenger Gairy St. Clair. Very wild with the right hand there, though.
Just as the fight has gone on, he's put on more pressure, and he's been there all the time in front of Baloyi.
And physically, Ron, if you look at the 2 faces of the fighters, he looks like he's winning the fight.
Well, this is it, Nick. He's just so much more confident, and his team's so much stronger at the moment.
Baloyi bleeding, mouth open.
All St. Clair at the moment. A big round.
Good left hook scored by Baloyi. Got in a good left hook there, and suddenly St. Clair backed up. He felt that, Ron.
But lazy punches coming from Baloyi. He's not throwing enough punches.
Well, he's coming forward cautiously at the moment. He just needs to throw caution to the wind, I think, at this stage of the fight, Baloyi. Coming forward, though, again, is Baloyi. This is good. We haven't seen this in the fight.
Showing a lot of heart. The heart of a champion here now by Cassius Baloyi.
Well, it was the 11th round. He stopped Medina.
That's right. But he hasn't got much time left. 25 seconds here in round number 11. And but Gairy St. Clair is still there in front of Baloyi.
St. Clair coming forward himself. An exchange of hooks there. I think Baloyi's carried a bit more weight. St. Clair could be clever here too. He can afford to run at this stage of the fight. He's ahead on points, no question.
You don't do that, Nick. It happened to De La Hoya, and he lost the fight, remember, against Trinidad?
Yeah, but he did it for 3 rounds. And he didn't lose the fight. Well, he did. But I don't think he did.
You had him knocked out, Gairy.
And while we talk international boxing, don't forget Roy Jones fighting early hours of tomorrow morning on Supersport.
Breathe deep.
Fighting at light heavyweight is Roy Jones.
Last round, champion. Touch him up, baby.
Gairy, breathe deep. Breathe deep. I want this championship more than anyone. Come on.
Well, the sense ringside is that this title is about to change hands unless Cassius Baloyi can come up with something huge in this last round. And by huge, it probably means a knockdown at the very least. And even then, that might not quite be enough. I've given St. Clair the last 5 rounds, Ron.
I would say so, Nick, at least the last 4. Baloyi's just not doing enough, Nick. He's lazy, he's sluggish.
He's been outworked by a very fit and well-conditioned Gairy St. Clair too.
Touch him up. Last round, let's go.
12th and final round. Been a very intriguing fight, this.
All right.
Well, Cassius Baloyi is just going to have to give it a full go now. St. Clair knows the title's up for grabs.
Straight away, St. Clair jumped on Baloyi. St. Clair has to be careful because he's ahead on points now. He can walk into something big, and obviously that's what Baloyi is hoping for.
He stays ahead on points, Nick. There's 3 judges. They might see it differently.
I'd be surprised, Ron.
It's Lulama Mitchell, Charlie Lucas, Howard Fraser. How are they going to see it?
You just got to look at the faces of the 2 fighters, as I said.
I think it's sliding away from Baloyi. He's done very little in the last 4 rounds.
Good left hook, though. Jolting shot from Baloyi. Got to throw more of those. Toe to toe. St. Clair has to be careful because he's ahead on points now. He can walk into something big, and obviously that's what Baloyi is hoping for. I'd be surprised, Ron.
Toe to toe. Well, for the first time in the fight, St. Clair's shown a bit of tiredness, leaning on. Has Cassius Baloyi got enough left to pull out a big one?
Well, if he has, he's left it very, very late. St. Clair still determined to come forward.
The great performance here by the man from Guyana, Gairy St. Clair.
He looks a hungry fighter, doesn't he, Ron?
He's put up a great show, Nick. He's never stopped punching. He's come to take a title.
And on my card, he's doing it.
Well, I won't commit myself because I don't... I'll wait until the judges decide.
Ron Jackson not committing himself.
Not tonight, Nick, because you never know. You get some strange decisions. But...
look at that waistband of Cassius Baloyi. It's been stained red, and that's blood from the eye.
And you've got to say that he's lost the last 5 rounds. So St. Clair must be ahead.
A lot of the fight has been fought at close range. And St. Clair's got the better of it.
But St. Clair's been there right throughout the fight. He's been in front of him and he's been landing in the last 3 or 4 rounds. Whereas he didn't land so often in the first half of the fight.
St. Clair looking very tired now as well.
Well, it's understandable, Nick. He set a tremendous pace, is Gairy St. Clair. There's been a great performance here by the little man.
Inside of 45 seconds left in this fight. And upset would appear to be happening at the moment as again St. Clair backs Baloyi right across the ring.
I think St. Clair, Nick, will be very unlucky if he doesn't get the decision.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Australian corner, and it's the same corner, were irate when their fighter earlier on lost.
Oh, he didn't win that one, but he can win this one.
What they will do if they don't get the decision here, I don't know.
well, I know. It's been Gairy St. Clair all on the time, throwing a lot of punches, left and right from St. Clair. And it's a desperate champion now. And it's all St. Clair.
St. Clair's fought the fight to perfection. He's still the busier fighter at the bell here.
And a great performance here by the little man.
Well, Nick Durant comes in arms raised, but it's not the way I see it. I must be honest with you. I think Gairy St. Clair is the new champion. Three judges, all sitting at different sides of the ring, of course, all have a different view of the fight. But from where we sit as commentators here, I'll come out and say I think that's your new champion, Gairy.
I think he's done enough to win it, Nick. You know, it wasn't a good performance by Cassius Baloyi. He was slow, he was sluggish, he wasn't throwing enough punches. In the second half of the fight, it was all Gairy St. Clair.
You know, if you were trying to make a case for Baloyi, you could say perhaps St. Clair, yes, he threw more punches, but they didn't all land, and maybe Baloyi landed cleaner counter punches.
That was early in the fight.
But I didn't see that.
No, not late in the fight. He wasn't doing that. Early in the fight, Baloyi was rolling, picking up the punches on his gloves.
Yeah,
on
and for how many rounds? For about the first 4, that's
rounds.
all.
And after that, to St. Clair, he was landing. He was getting through to the body, getting to the head, and there's some action here from that last round, which definitely was a St. Clair round.
And even if you gave Baloyi the first 4 rounds, I think St. Clair did enough in that latter half of the fight to win it by at least 2 or 3
He never stopped. He kept coming forward. Baloyi landed the odd punch which stopped him in his tracks, but he just kept pushing forward once again.
Be interesting to see how it goes. Of course, we've got a South African judge in the mix.
And we've got our Australian judge.
Yeah.
And we've got the neutral judge from USA. So how are they going to score it?
Well, it's been
some funny decisions, Nick. Who knows?
Yeah, it's been a fascinating evening's boxing. It really has.
Well, this has been a good fight. It was a grueling fight. It wasn't a great fight, but a grueling fight.
Well, I think Empress Palace's introduction to boxing has gone rather well. Been a good build. Be a pity if Cassius Baloyi does lose that IBF title in his first defence, but hats off to Gairy St. Clair.
Well, it's always anxious this time, Nick, for both fighters and for the corners waiting for that decision. And just the fight supervisor now will be tallying up those cards. They hand a card in at the end of each round. Each judge, the referee collects it, and he does the tally. So,
be honest with you, tonight,
see how they go, Nick.
These two fighters are pretty much the same age. In
31
fact,
years old,
yes,
but he's similar records, Nick, similar amount of fights. You know?
As fighters, though, Cassius looked the older fighter for me tonight.
You know, look, in his last 2 fights, Nick, even the fight against Medina, he wasn't as sharp as we'd seen before. So, you know, he definitely lost something in his last 2 or 3 fights. I think the Ndove fight took a lot out of him. That was a hard fight. And the Slatsvaya fight.
I don't believe if these two had met early in their career that Sinclair would have had the beating of Baloyi. No way.
Well, it's not the Cassius Baloyi we know, Nick, but the Slatsvaya fight took a lot out of him. And he just lost something. He just lost that edge.
And he could have lost those as well, I'm afraid. Because, as I say, I've come out and given the fight to Sinclair, but that means absolutely nothing. Ron, you're still sitting on the fence, eh?
Well, you know, I don't trust the judges, Nick. You know, I've seen it happen before, you know. So...
but calling it the way you saw it?
I would have to give it to Sinclair, Nick. You know, I think he's done enough to get it a good performance, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, we're about to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this IBF and IBO junior lightweight title fight was scheduled for 12 rounds. It went the distance. We go now to the judges' scorecards. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous points decision. Judge Howard Foster scores the fight 112-116. Charles Lucas scores the fight 113-115. Lula Mamja scores the fight 114-115. For the winner via a unanimous points decision. And the new IBF and IBO junior lightweight champion,
sometimes
the
we get it right, but I think it was a fair decision, Nick. He didn't do much more, and he deserved the decision. There's no doubt about it. And sad to see Cassius Baloyi, but he's lost something, Nick. And very good fighter, a courageous fighter, Cassius Baloyi, but a good win, yeah, for Gairy St. Clair. He deserved the win.